was
Can
only.
I ask you, what did you go to prison for?
Yeah, sure. A murder
Okay.
and suspected in a couple other murders.
Oh, okay.
You guys ready?
More than ready.
We can get ready.
So you guys ask the questions and.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, sit on this. You need to bottom 30. So, come on, step up. My name is Jason Smith, and this is
Okay.
Lauren Christian.
So we're gonna start it now. Okay, yeah. So once again, tell me your name and your age, both of you. And you guys are a couple, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Been together
Okay.
8 years. We got
Today.
a baby, baby Grace. We have together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Graciela.
You have baby
is her-
Grace.
Her name is Grace, but her real name is Graciela.
Graciada.
Graciela. Italian
Graciala.
name. Yeah.
That's such a beautiful name. It's so different. Where's Graciela?
She's with family.
She's with family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we out here struggling a little bit.
We were doing real good during pregnancy. We planned for her, and we were working with
You
fertility.
talk just a little bit louder.
We were working with fertility, and we knew that as addicts, that as we get older in age, that we would maybe potentially struggle with having a baby. And so we didn't know. We knew that we loved each other regardless of having one. But then she just kind of, we were literally on the cusp. I had suffered from an eating disorder for years, and that's an addiction in and of itself. Jason himself with other things, and but we were on our aging for what, year or so?
Year and a half.
But
we were in a
still,
sober house together.
Yeah.
She was on the second floor. It's not allowed, but we snuck in at different times. We were a couple in a sober house for a year and a half. We got caught on our last 2 weeks, but we didn't care because we got a stipend for an apartment in Quincy, where we lived for about 2.5, almost 3 years. I was on my second car.
Wow. What happened?
Lauren had an old case from before we met. I was about 8 years old, maybe 9. It was a second DUI, subsequent offense, and they made a deal with her, and there was really no way out for her because of the drinking while driving and an accident. So.
Okay.
She left the hospital, went on escape. They couldn't do tests on her.
It really wasn't that cool.
It was pretty good, but ultimately she had to go to jail for like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, man.
So
4 or 5 and
the
a half,
apartment
good
that we
time.
had at the time, $1,800 a month, was really strapping, and she paid more of the rent than I could, and so. We basically lost the apartment. I had my truck parked there. It was just a little Ford Escape 2010, and I had to sell the car and just liquidate everything. Basically, we just left the apartment and they took all the stuff. We had really nice stuff in there. Kitchen was color coded. It was really nice.
There was a lot of services, and there are a lot of services out here for people. If there was more outreach, that would be great. The interns, I wish they had programs like that where you had interns out here bebopping around being like, oh, well, do you want to sign up for this? And you know what I mean? And we know about rapid rehousing. It took us getting pregnant for us to then not
Qualify
be
for
able to
something
be at
in
the
addition
sober house
to.
because I was a liability, right?
Okay.
And so then we went to St. Francis, which is a wonderful organization down on Boylston Street. We've worked with them for years. And that's how we got that grant. Is
so
because we were displaced, essentially.
Okay.
And so they paid a stipend for us, $800 a month
paid a
of our
stipend for our rent.
$1,800. And
Wow.
They moved us right in.
the idea is for us to have a year to get our lives together.
Correct.
Right? And so because I was pregnant, we set the whole nursery up. We had everything. But one of the things is that it's that follow-up, that wraparound service where if they had someone that was consistently coming into our home, you know what I mean, home
Yeah.
base, then they would have realized that one of us had already relapsed right?
Okay.
And it was too much too soon. You take us in a sober house, which is structured. You know, there's like two drug tests a week, something like that.
It's like
you
2
know
or
what I
3
mean?
drug
And then
tests a
we have
week.
our miracle baby.
We had
and
no
then
interest at all doing drugs.
We just, we really didn't. And then it
Actually,
just kind of happened overnight.
We just lasted, even after we moved in our apartment, we just used to live, we used to eat dinner at the table. We had no
Yeah.
thoughts of it, and then, you know,
happens like
whether or
that.
not it was her fault or my fault or a conversation that we had,
That's how it works.
we, you know, we just started getting high again. And we're still paying our rent, though, you know, we still lasted. And,
But I
but
was
then the
scared at
case
this point.
came up.
Okay.
And so the case sort of, you know, when she started getting
Well, the
word
case
that,
was
you know,
really
they
over our
wanted
heads.
her
We hadn't had the
to
baby
go to
yet,
jail.
Jay. We hadn't had the baby yet.
Yeah.
So, like, in the back of our minds, like, I had gone through this whole healthy pregnancy, our miracle baby. So, the point is that we were able to get pregnant before the fertility. It had the implant, like, whatever that, you know what I mean? We were going to pay $600, $700 for, not in vitro, but insemination. And
That's what
and
she
then we were
wanted to do at
able,
first, 'cause she
then we
wasn't
were
getting
able to get
pregnant
pregnant on
as
our
fast as she
own
wanted.
because all I had to do was eat a freaking cookie. You know what I mean? Like, oh, just don't be anorexic, you'll get pregnant, and be clean. Anyway, so in my mind, I had relapsed, and I was in my last month and a half of pregnancy.
Oh no.
So but I knew, because I am someone that had DCF involved in my youngest son's life, that was not going to become under scrutiny unless DCF has warrant for it. You know what I mean? And so I knew that we were kind of in a rock and a hard place, and I was scared. I was scared.
Can I go back for 1
yeah.
second? So, first we'll start with you. Where did you grow up at?
I grew up on the Cape.
On the Cape.
Yep, a small little town, Harwich, next to Chatham, which is, I think, a little snobbier. But Harwich, yeah. And but I spent a lot of my adult years, like about 7 years or so in Falmouth.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first real experience with the recovery community. But my Harwich days was very much like riding a bike across town, no parents. You put a quarter in the payphone, and then it's like, oh, hey, man. You know, like it was different times then.
Different times.
Yeah, now I want to chain him up. Lead anywhere.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older brother and sister. All three of us are adopted from different families.
Oh, wow.
And all of us are actually very alike in very similar ways.
She's famous.
Yeah, right.
You just don't know it right now,
Yes, he is
but she is.
But no, I had a really great upbringing. I'm the only addict in the family though.
Oh.
Yep.
Did you go to school?
I did. I went to just public school, and then they discovered early.
She's a genius.
I snuck into a piano
Yeah.
lesson. I don't
Yeah.
remember if it was my brother
not
or
kidding.
sister. But
She is.
I started tinkering around with the piano keys, and so they discovered early on that I had a kind of a inkling for music, and so I started very early.
So you're gifted.
What she's not telling you
the
is she plays
piano?
the piano, the violin, like all kinds of instruments.
Really? You play a
She's
bunch
mad.
of instruments?
More like
Yeah.
piano and guitar, but I mean that sounds good.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I love music. That's
Yeah,
like so cool
yeah.
to be able to play it.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
She's really smart. She graduated from
Bridgewater State.
Bridgewater State College.
So you went to college.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
3 years.
You're
Well,
super
yeah, I did.
talented.
I went to so
High school,
hindsight,
3 years.
Harwich. If you go to public school, you're great. If you're insecure, like I was, very, very insecure. Not only was I the shortest, but I was just insecure. I never felt like I belonged. And so I got suspended for selling cigarettes, which I thought would have been a lucrative career in 7th grade, but it wasn't. So they sent me to boarding school. So I went to Tabor Academy, and I graduated in 3 years there because it sucked. And ran away from home on a Greyhound, cross country, and then started college early because Washington State you can start as a minor, so you
Okay.
can start college at 17. So I started college early. And
So you
finished
went
that.
to college early.
Yeah, did that in
Wow.
3 years, and then started grad school.
You went to grad school?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go, sis.
Yeah.
That's so impressive.
She's freaking. She's a what is it? She's a like a what is it? Therapist? What?
It was.
She's a like
It was.
not an occupational therapist, but a like a psychological therapist.
I was a mental
Okay.
health clinic.
Clinician. She's
I worked for my
wicked smart.
father's company for years.
You worked for your dad's company.
Yeah, he.
Oh, okay.
But then it got broader and got bigger as I think my father was on board. But he has some very colorful tales to tell. I don't know if he'd still tell me he's enjoying retirement, but But yeah, it was a wonderful company to not only work for, but to be raised in. I never understood special needs. I never understood that any child was different than me. You know what I mean? And so we had these kids that were in our home at Halloween. My dad had to then bring everyone from the group homes. They were all dressed up, all these kids, like flipping, flailing, like doing whatever, jumping up and down. You know what I mean? So I never really understood any difference in that. And so as a result, our kids went to integrated preschools.
Okay.
Yeah, so we believe
Cool.
strongly in that. Even if they don't live with us, that's what we've done. So we've done right by them, for sure, I think.
Tell me your name again, sir.
My name's Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
So Jason, tell me the same thing. Like, where'd you grow up? Did you have both parents in the household?
Well,
You have
my life's
siblings?
pretty short.
Okay.
To be honest,
It's okay.
well,
He's the
I
hottest
went
guy I've
to
ever
the
been
Greater Lawrence Regional Vocational Tech. I'm a certified welder.
Certified
highway de-
welder. Welders
yeah,
make
the-
great money.
With the Highway Department, Department of Transportation. I went to school for it.
What neighborhood did you grow up in?
I grew up in Andover, Mass.
Andover.
Yes.
So you guys are like really far from here and ended up over here.
Not only that, but in affluent neighborhoods. And
Yeah.
I was like
Wow.
the only black kid in my whole neighborhood.
Really?
Not only that, I'm like too well spoken, so it's cost me a lot of drama. But to make a long story short, and to be honest, it took me about 4 years of my young life addiction to get caught up in going to prison. I went to prison in 1990 for 25 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
25 years. That's
Yeah.
a huge part of your
Yeah, it
life.
sure is.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm out now.
I know that's right.
But yeah, I got smashed.
Right
But,
after.
I had some
So how old were you when you went to prison?
19 maybe.
19.
Yeah.
And you went for 25 years.
Yeah, I'm 54 now.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it hurt, you know. But I got on like an 18 to 20 with 5 years to boot, and I did all of it. And a little bit of good time. You only got 2.5 days back then, so. But yeah, I got out in 2014. I went to
So you
the
went out
island.
for 10 years.
Yeah, I went out to the island.
God, does that seem like a really
the
long
island,
time?
whatever that island
Like
is
it
that
was
they have.
yesterday.
I was in like
It looks 10 years younger than she is.
reintegration program, but then they shut down that island and basically just kicked us all out.
Yeah.
I ended up at my sister's house in Beverly, where I was trying to get my shit together.
1 second. I'm sorry. Give us 1 second. You can't hear anything over that. Okay, so you went to Beverly to
Yeah,
stay
to
with
live
your
my
sister.
Yeah, and I had a lot of that prison aggression still. I was,
Okay.
really still. I've been in some of the most hostile units in the country. You know, I was Quaid as aggressive, and I was. I was
Can
only.
I ask you, what did you go to prison for?
Yeah, sure. A murder
Okay.
and suspected in a couple other murders.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I feel like I tell the story better.
Well, you could if you wanted
Well, you
to.
did your time.
It's over, you know.
It was a drug deal
Sometimes you're
gone
waiting
bad.
for
He was
something.
a baby.
But
The way I
yeah,
had to tell my father, because that was interesting telling a clinic. My father's a psychologist, and so not only did he run the Master, but he was a clinical behavioral psychologist. And so you'd think he believes in the people's ability to rehabilitate and whatever, but not when it comes to his kids. So, and I told him about Jason, all Google-eyed, right? I told him the
Lauren and I
story.
met and at a kind of like a head injury hospital type of. We were just there. I had lived on another floor than her, but they would lunch us together, and so I was actually talking to another girl that was taller and behind Lauren. I was trying to get her attention, but I got hers, and I just wanted somebody to sit down and eat with. And so Lauren was like, "Who, me?" And so she
That's
came
exactly
over,
what I thought too.
and I just we sat down and we were talking for that one lunch, and then we started eating lunch together. But we only ate lunch together for 2 days because the next day they wanted me to go to some sober house and stuff. So I put her on to how to do it, and The next day she wanted to go, and the next day she left, and we both left. And so we went to the sober house together, and we made that unity together. And then,
So you guys met after the prison.
Yeah,
after the prison,
yep,
but
yep, pretty soon.
I've gone back
You come back
like four
times.
times.
Okay.
For just
Yeah, no, 4
different
times.
different stuff where I didn't want to. I'm not the type of guy to lay down a little bit. So
Well, part of
or
his
calm
record is
down,
it's always
you know.
going to be that 90 day.
And so, I'd go, they'd send me to jail, somebody tell on me or whatever, and that was that. So, but I got out and sort of calmed down a little bit and just let things go. And me and Lauren started working at the sober house. We worked on saving our money. I used to collect cans.
Okay.
And I do 2 times
what
a
we
week.
did
I
our
saved
cigarettes at
like
the sober house.
$2,000 from doing it.
We would go for that last half hour before curfew.
Yep.
Rolling around Revere all
Yep.
along right near
Take a
Revere
shopping
Beach
cart
with that
around
shopping
2
cart.
streets only,
Yep.
and collect all the cans. And then
We made a lot of
I
friends out there.
have
They
a
laid
driver's
out there.
license, so I would take my car to the can recycling
That was
place.
at Lynn, right? Yeah.
And then, and just get the money.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we were enrolled in some programs that paid for the sober house, different portions.
Yeah.
And so we were able to save our own money. And so we put like $5,000 of our own money into moving into an apartment when that time came. And then Lauren used her portion of the saved money to do a thing for us, which is like, top and bottom of the rent of the apartment. And then I used it to get us the vehicle.
Yeah.
Because Lauren had DUI, I had a valid driver's license, which
That's
I
right
do have
before
now.
driver's
And I bought a car.
Right.
And so we would trek around together.
Quick question. So what's your guys' drug of choice?
Mine's cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yep.
Okay. So just like regular
Right.
cocaine, or
Like 2005, it was like pink. It was cocaine. It wasn't whatever the heck makes me feel like a paranoid schizophrenic after like one line. Not to condone any of that type of stuff because it obviously, but part of my testimony when I had some clean time was that drug is so tricky because it helped me be skinny, so it fed my eating disorder, right? And then 2, it helped me with school. I sat down, and so if you're an approval seeker, do not do a stimulant.
Okay.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. And then for years, I told my friends, do not let me do cocaine because I was already addicted to Adderall all through boarding school because they give that out. They
Adderall.
give that out like Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so you have everyone eating Tic
She had
Tacs.
a bad ride on that
And,
Adderall. She took like,
Really?
she
Yeah.
sniffed like 30 Adderall
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah, and that goes.
Adderall
yeah.
30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible.
But yeah, that was my drug of choice, and then I've never really done any of the different routes of it that you can do drugs until really the past couple of years, and that's been pretty colorful as well, I would say.
Okay.
I,
What about you? What?
I don't know. I have a crack or cocaine addiction, I guess. It's the only thing I do. I don't do anything else. Smoke
okay.
weed. Don't take anything else.
No.
And
No, we don't.
sometimes it
neither
gets a
one of us
little
do heroin, but we
little
have.
much. It's
Yeah.
it's a chase sometimes because there's different grades of cocaine
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
ingest, and so body reacts a little different. And and so, but when I first got in trouble, I had tried it, and it had it made me different than I am now. So because I was the type of person that when it was gone, I just okay, it's gone. Let's go out and get some more. And
Not
if
me.
you didn't have the money
No.
or whatever, you would do what
I
you
would
got to do to get it.
scream and cry.
And
Oh,
so,
that was horrible.
hence, I went to prison.
Okay.
So,
How do you guys still support yourselves?
I'm on
it's hard.
disability.
Well,
I
yeah,
get an
yeah.
SSI,
Yeah.
and so what we do is she's
I'm on SSDI.
She's on SSDI.
I had a head injury about 6 years ago.
Okay.
He was the one who was locked up. Mine was 2016. And then I went on SSDI after that because I had done years of work. You know what I mean? So it's just a little bit of a different price range. And so that combined allows us, even now, we just don't have a room to rent. It's really that
Right.
simple. We would not
I mean,
even
between the
need
two
an
of us,
SRO.
we get like $3,000.
I mean, I would
a
prefer
month,
an SRO, but we
and
really
we just
actually
can't
wouldn't
find
need one.
anything
We just
because
can't find one.
they're the way they are.
Well, and
People
we're
are-
out
you know what I mean?
doing our thing during the day.
And
You know what I
we're-
mean? We don't
Yeah.
always we're still in the position that even though we're talking to y'all, we're still active.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? We're still active.
was in prison
And
with
so, you know what I mean? You're lucky
It's
you caught
tough
us in a
because
moment where we could interview.
now we're so ingested in this stupid shit here that we
Hey,
haven't
baby girl.
decided when we want
No,
to
come here.
when we want to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost hard to put forth the effort to get out of this.
I
you
know, it's hard.
And then when the weather gets good, we want to stay out here and continue on. And so we just basically both have to, put our heads together and get out of this. Now,
You guys,
we have been
let
in
me
this.
just say
We have
this.
been in this before.
You guys
and we
are
climbed
meant
out.
to be here. You're both very
Oh, yeah, thank you.
talented people.
Thank you. I think
You
so.
know, y'all got good occupations before the streets. This ain't it. You know,
I
I
know,
can see you
right?
guys doing a lot. And then y'all got a
We can
beautiful
get
I
out.
baby.
the first week I was with him. I
Y'all
told him
got a
he's the
beautiful
one.
baby
We
too.
do. She looks like
you had a
him.
good career, man.
I can't stand it.
You got a grad education. I mean, I only got a bachelor's. I didn't hit grad school.
Yeah,
sis. You passed me.
That's just
Yeah.
So I
that's
mean,
just
like
time.
real
It's just
shit.
classroom time. It really is.
This
Come
don't
on,
have
be
to be
real.
it for you.
Yeah.
This don't have to be it, you know.
It feels
And y'all
like
can
that.
have that great apartment
As
back
we get,
and
as,
the car
we get
and the
deeper
truck
and deeper into
and
it,
everything.
it's almost hard to convince my wife that
I don't feel
that
like
Well, you both have to be ready.
This is not the end.
I feel like
It's
Seems
not the
bad.
end.
It's not the end.
the stress that
nothing.
it puts on relationships, be it what other people tell you. Like I could be walking
Yeah.
down this block, and believe you, it's brought me to all lengths of different things to hustle money.
I'm
And,
sure.
it's
When
it's
you're
something I
out
would
here,
never wish on
the
anyone.
people that you're out
Ever.
here with,
Ever.
they just spew negativity. They have nothing positive to say about each other or about individual. Y'all do a lap. I'll see you in a minute. They have nothing good to say. They're negative. They're bad, very bad, and so they want to see misery. So they'll tell her I'm cheating on her, or I saw
That's
him
a
over
daily
here, saw him over there,
everything.
and just
That's
different
every
stuff.
day.
And it's a waste, But for her, not being really from the street and everything, and she goes with it. She believes everything
Yeah,
she hears.
I-
Goes around
I've
asking
gotten-
questions, and it
I've
puts a
gotten
lot of
robbed
stress
a lot.
on how we deal with each other
I've had a lot
when
of
we're
things
alone.
happen, being alone.
What is the worst thing that's happened to you out here?
I've been
7 times?
Yeah.
Been
last
assaulted
year.
a couple of
Last
times.
year.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
it's
I actually lucked out that it took up to this last year. But, and I say that so casually because I'm kind of desensitized to it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that is something that I hope
It
I'll
really
deal
sucks
with one
because I don't
day,
want to have
and
to go
or
out
I'll
and kill
just help
somebody.
someone else. Because that's what I'd much
Yeah,
rather
you don't
help
want to
someone
end up
else.
back in
You know
jail,
what I mean?
behind
Yeah,
that,
I know.
behind somebody
Sometimes it's
hurting
alright.
her. What about you? What's the worst thing that's happened to you?
The worst things that happened to me being out here, one is that I had to, wipe a couple motherfuckers down and go to jail for 25 years. And, other than that, just fighting, nothing really. Oh, I don't know. It's not just that.
Okay, well,
I'm not
I'm not
someone
going
who
to take
takes
up
a
you
lot.
guys' time
Take
No,
it
this
anymore,
was-
but
no, this was
I
nice.
really,
Much
really
appreciated.
We
appreciate
actually
you
needed this.
guys. I appreciate you so much for sharing your story, and it will help somebody else
Oh, I
too.
know, I believe
You
that.
know,
I hope so,
And
because
I told him he
we
was the
don't
kind
like
of guy
it.
that
We
would
don't
speak
want
to
it.
high schools. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's got kind of a record, so it depends on the high school. But he really is. He's that one that would go in and he would talk to those kids because all it takes is that one person. You know what I mean?
it
He was
does.
a
You can
baby
change
when-
somebody's
his story,
life. You
man,
guys have
it's
so much
crazy.
to offer
It really
in
is.
life,
There's so
and your
much more to
baby.
what we've been through
You know?
than just the small part that we told
I'm
you.
sure it is.
And,
Well,
but, there's
it
a
was
lot of
nice meeting you
psychologists.
guys.
It was
I
so
really
nice meeting you,
appreciate
yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and God bless you both.
Yep,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.